Hey, what's up guys, Marvel Rivals Moist Critical, and today I wanted to talk about Deadpool coming to Marvel Rivals. Alright, so Marvel Rivals has been dropping hints so obvious it's practically a confession. From the red suit stalker and Psylocke's lore to the collector hiring mysterious assassins, us having a literal silhouette of Deadpool this season's art. This is Deadpool. I know it, you know it, everyone knows it. Even more so, the devs usually tease the next upcoming character with gallery art. I mean, look at what happened with Daredevil. However, today I want to talk about the man himself, Deadpool, what role he might actually take, and how a character like him would fit into the game's meta, and most importantly, what would his abilities look like? Because the answer is honestly a little bit more interesting than people might think. Alright, so how do we know Deadpool's coming? Let's just quickly run through the receipts. There was A strange man in red, that was a lore drop in Squirrel Girl's second lore entry. Psylocke mentions a strange man in a red suit sent by the collector to find her. And yes, Daredevil exists, other red suits exist, but context matters. This dude is a mercenary, sent out to chase multiple characters across dimensions. That is textbook Deadpool behavior. And this is the connection we already have between the collector and Deadpool, and it's a dead giveaway that it's exactly talking about him. The next one leads us straight into Rogue and Gambit's lore. Gambit literally steals a contract from the collector this season, and the collector is so furious he sends someone after him. So now we have three characters, Psylocke, Rogue, and Gambit, all dealing with a mysterious red-clad stalker. That's not a coincidence, that's setup. The last big piece of evidence is the season gallery and teasers. This season gallery had a clear teaser talking about a blathering, foul-mouthed mercenary. And as I'm going to show you right now, a close look at the gallery card clearly shows Deadpool, a katana on his back with a classic mask peak at the top. And then to top it all off, we have a plethora of Deadpool leaked voice lines and interactions between different characters that data miners have scraped up.
I've got everything I need to get the job done. I'm hunting criminals, Wade, not throwing a birthday party for a 6-year-old.
No time for messing around, Wade. We got a mission to focus on. I think I've finally stabbed you in the head one too many times.
It's not confirmed, but this is the most blatant soft tease you can possibly give without outright saying Deadpool is coming to the game. And honestly, I could see him coming very soon. Like next season soon. So what role will he be? Now this is where those leaks get interesting. Most people assume that Deadpool is going to be a duelist, in high mobility, high damage, guns and swords, and a healing factor, and honestly, sure, it would make sense. And the leaks seem to have stated that he will be a duelist. However, the data miners have been a little bit off recently when it comes to roles. For example, they were suggesting that Gambit was going to be a duelist, everything in the files suggested that, but it turns out he was a strategist. Now, it's possible that the Marvel Rival devs originally had him as a duelist and then changed him around later stages of development. So it's not as far-fetched to assume that Deadpool might get the same treatment. I do want to make it clear that either possibility works here, but I want to tackle this video from the perspective of Deadpool being a Vanguard. At first, it sounds crazy, right? Why would Deadpool be tanking? But then you realize Rivals is already bending lore for gameplay. I mean, look at Adam Warlock, Wolverine, Rocket, hell, Gambit is a great example. So, giving Deadpool a bruiser kit isn't that far-fetched. Also, in the 2013 Deadpool video game, he was beefed up quite a bit to the point where I look at the design of his character and leaned way more towards him actually fitting the Vanguard role quite well. And with the collector sending him as a hunter after strong characters like a Psylocke, Rogue, Gambit, it kind of fits the narrative too. So what role should he be? Let's quickly get into the argument about Vanguard and Duelist and make up our minds here. Deadpool as a Vanguard actually works pretty well if you think of him like a bruiser, someone who can stick in a fight, someone who plays aggressively, someone who has combat healing meter like in Space Marine 2's Contested Hell system. He's not meant to be unkillable, but giving him temporary HP mechanics while fighting seems perfect. Perfect Deadpool energy, chaotic, risky, and hype. And in my opinion, it's the route they should have taken with Wolverine. Now the argument for Duelist. On the flip side, Deadpool being a duelist is also incredibly easy to justify. He's got dual pistols, katanas, high mobility, dive potential, an assassin playstyle, and meta-friendly pick for plays. And let's be honest, the fan base expects him to be a duelist. Despite what we might want, it's the most safe option. And depending on how the devs want to evolve, either path could be viable. So let's tackle this from Deadpool being a Vanguard. Now onto his abilities. Passive, can't kill a joke. Dealing damage generates contested HP, yellow health. Contested HP rapidly decays when Deadpool stops fighting. This will encourage him to stay in the fight and just be an overall annoying character for the enemy team to have to deal with him constantly. Kind of like when it's the middle of summer and a damn mosquito is in your room buzzing in your ear every time you're about to fall asleep. Sorry, personal rant. His primary will be close enough. Short-range SMGs with high fall-off generates a small amount of contested HP when doing damage, with moderate damage and a little bit of range drop-off the further away targets get, meaning he won't really be able to do a lot of damage when you're at a medium to long distance. He's mostly doing it close up. His secondary, Bad Touch. A wide katana slash applies a bleed or even a small anti-heal that generates more bonus contested HP, encouraging a playstyle where Deadpool really wants to get up close and annoying. His shift will be Slice and Dice. This is your movement ability on Deadpool. You lunge forward, slicing the area, doing a small amount of damage to enemies that get hit. This will be your abilities for engaging and disengaging in fights. You get 2 charges and it generates a small amount of contested HP on hit. Deadpool throws a bouncing grenade that explodes in a small AoE, deals light damage, does a small knockback, and this ability is meant to disorientate the enemy team and break them up a bit. E. Maximum Effort. Gain a full bar of contested HP and increased movement speed for a short duration. Contested HP decays slower while active. This ability will basically serve as his main survivability. Think of it similar to Venom's E, but instead he's gaining back a lot of health instead of just getting a flat shield that decays over time. And finally, Deadpool's ultimate, Berserker Friendly. Deadpool enters a melee rampage. Attacks are faster, hits are small AoE arcs, and generates a heavy contested HP. Enemies caught in the frenzy get slightly pulled towards Deadpool every swing. If you're a character with good movement, you'll be able to get away from this, but if you're like Adam Warlock or Groot, you're going to get really caught up in this and you might get cooked. Okay, so that was his abilities, but as a little bit of a bonus, I want to briefly talk about what costumes he could have. Nice Pool. This is an obvious pick. I think it would be hilarious as a gimmick and would be a good callback to the movie. Cowboy Pool. We already have a similar skin theme in the game, and with Black Widow and Star-Lord, so it already fits perfect. Night Pool. This is just an overall easy one that looks really cool and a lot of people would be running. Golden Age Deadpool. I'm a sucker for the gas mask. One of my favorite Warhammer 40k factions is the Krieg, so this is an immediate choice for me. And finally, Zen Pool is arguably one of the coolest costume Deadpool's has ever donned, and one I'd really like to see in the game. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments. Is Deadpool coming next season or later? Do you want Deadpool to be a Vanguard or a Duelist? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Next week I'm hoping to put out a more funny, lighthearted video, so stay tuned for that. Leave a like, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.